Hey, yeah, time, hey, in the ring, yeah. Downtime in the ring, yeah, you know we get it on. Downtime's in the ring, we gon' hustle till it's gone. Downtime in the ring, yeah, you know we get it on. Downtime in the ring, yeah, we got it till it's gone. Downtime in the ring, yeah, you know we get it on. Downtime in the ring, yeah, we hustle till it's gone.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live at Downtime in the Ring, and
we are also on Exegesis. And I mean, one, thank you guys so much for having me on again. This is a cross-platform. I've never tried this before. We're simulcasting on both of our stuff, but I don't know about you guys, but your intro music wants me to pet McAfee the hell out of it and just jump up and, if I had an announcing table, I'd be on top. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Shout out to Montezi for creating that amazing music. We love you, big guy.
Song. It's a very fire song.
I know. We need to just put out the full song, but
I want to
start shout outs. You want to what?
Start a chant.
Downtime in the ring. You guys can catch us every week on here on Facebook, on Twitter, on Kick. We're going to try and do a Twitch, YouTube at Downtime in the Ring. We are always on everything. You guys can also check out DJ's podcast, the Exegesis podcast, on YouTube. I love watching my former boss turn basically like family at this point. Just going every week. He always has something unique, something cool, or just, he's just chilling out and just talking, which I always love. I always love to have chats with him. You guys can check out TZ's Table at TZ's Table on YouTube. Each and every month, he will have amazing, incredible interviews with people who are at the top level of the industry. This Friday, he has his debuting episode for at least season 2, with Aubrey Edwards. Love her. I'm super excited to see what she says. You might actually see maybe a little Downtime in the Ring surprise. Who knows? Who actually knows? Oh, Bastion. Yeah, it's DJ. So this week, guys, we have something pretty cool. We're going to chill out. Hey, Mom. We're going to chill out. We're going to relax. We're going to just go back, and we are going to talk about our favorite WrestleMania moments. So after 40 years, almost 40 years, hey, my love, we are going back. All three of us, we each picked so many moments, and we're going to talk about them, and we are going to, allow our guests to start us off. Before we do that, though, DJ, do you got anything you want to say?
Oh, man, I am just so excited for this season of wrestling. When I thought about doing a wrestling month, I couldn't do it without you guys. We have so much fun either dissecting an episode of Raw or AEW or fantasy booking or talking wrestling in general. So thank you guys. I'm ready to get started. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for next weekend. Let's go.
Oh, we are so close. We are almost there. We are almost done with the awkward 2-week gap between Mania. We are so close. I'm super excited. But DJ, what is your first iconic Mania moment?
All right. My first one I'm going to talk about is Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. And the reason why I picked this moment, and because the whole match to me was a moment, it actually had an award nomination. It got an ESPY award. Not only that, it was the first time 2 African American women headlined WrestleMania. So I know we're picking moments, but this whole match, in a nutshell, got an ESPY award and was the first time 2 women of color headlined WrestleMania. So to me, that was huge, very important.
I didn't put that one, and that was what? That was the WrestleMania
37.
we finally got to come back after the panty, right? That was the first WrestleMania after the panty.
I believe so. You know what? I put all these moments down, but I did not put in which WrestleMania it was. So
It's WrestleMania all together. It's just one big WrestleMania.
It's all WrestleMania.
It doesn't end. It doesn't end. It just pauses, and then until 365 days later, it's like, oh yay, back, just new matches.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
No, that's one of my favorite. I really have to say that, because that you see at the end of the match when Sasha wins, or when Bianca wins, and Sasha's there and she's sitting there and she's crying and smiling at this moment that is going on. And Sasha, that just continued Sasha's losing streak, I believe, also in WrestleMania, but she was willing to give that up so that Bianca could have her flowers. And that's the iconic part of that moment right there that I will always remember, is the fact that, yes, my love, I did call it the panty. I call it the panty. I didn't call it the panty, but that's the moment in that match that I will always remember. And it has nothing to do with Bianca. It's the fact that Sasha was willing to let the new talent rise in front of everybody. The world is back open, barely. Samoa Joe's in a raincoat for no reason, and Bianca got to get her flowers.
That was a feel-good Mania, in my opinion. It was just like a really, like, let's send the people home happy,
Yes.
First one back, send it home, and we'll see what happens next year. But I enjoyed all those moments from that Mania, especially with Bianca having her emotional moment, stuff like that. Even Sasha giving her flowers in that moment. So it's pretty nice.
What, brother? The panty, the pandemic. I just call it the panty. PANI. That's all I call it, bro, is the panty. Not the way that Morgan spelt it, because it makes it look like panty. But Chris, what is your first iconic WrestleMania moments from these past 40 years?
One of my first ones, I'll go with the Edge and Mick Foley match. Spear through the fiery table.
Oh, okay.
So I absolutely loved that match, because that was like one of the first few instances where I had actually missed a Mania. And it was like 5th grade, I think. And people kept talking about how Edge speared Mick Foley through a table. So I was just like, dang, I really missed it. So I went to watch it back. And like the way Edge just was not selling, but actually like convulsing and stuff out of that, I thought that was insane compared to what I've seen in like the video games at that moment.
Yeah.
So kind of going into that, like, I really did enjoy most of that Mania, and that was the first Mania I've ever like finished watching from front to back. So it was a great moment for me. So
mine is we just talked about this, WrestleMania 24. I'm sorry, I love you. Super kick, 3 count, Ric Flair's over. That's how I'm gonna begin my list, is with that one. That one was by far a very emotional match. It's a meme. It is a GIF. You see it all the time. No matter what, is the "I'm sorry, I love you" moment that Shawn Michaels says to Ric Flair right before he ends his career. That's one of my favorite overall. And we talked about this right before we started going live, that me and Chris actually realized we have a lot more of these in common than what we thought. But
so I did say that was one moment, but it's not on my list.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's not. And I will die and I'll have it engraved that I was a Shawn Michaels fan on my grave. Like that, like anything involving Mr. WrestleMania is going to be top notch. So stole for me, okay? And I'm sorry, I Love You was great, but I just felt like with the time that it took, and then Ric Flair just leaves and shows up and still has more matches, it soured on that. So it was still a great moment as a moment in and of
Yes.
itself. It was just in like it didn't age well, essentially, for me. But I totally agree. Like that any Shawn Michaels match I see, it's always a story. It's always a storybook at this point. You're watching just to see what he does, how he paces. Everything has meaning. That's Shawn Michaels is the real reason why I think he was like the first storyteller for me in wrestling. And everyone probably has their own specific one. So that they like Macho Man for some, Hogan for another, and like in that instance, I thought it was so good. And like even afterwards, when Ric Flair is just in the middle of the ring crying and he gets down to his family, hugging Charlotte Flair, his son, and all his wife, having the great send off. Thank you, Flair. Thank you, Flair. And then the following Monday, having like entire tribute. It was so good. It was great. It was great.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. I guess it's up to me. All right. So I looked this up. That way I am not I'm not totally out of it. And then it's then I lost it. So I'll go on to another one that I had, and I'll look that one back up. So this one is WrestleMania 30. So another one that's closer to now. I have a lot of past ones on there, but and that is Daniel Bryan flipping the script, or WWE flipping the script and allowing Daniel Bryan to capture the gold. He wasn't supposed to, but because of the fans and the fan outcry, they allowed him to get it and fulfilled the yes movement. So
the Miracle on Bourbon Street. The Miracle on Bourbon Street. It was so good.
A good match. Such a good story going into it.
Build from SummerSlam to then. Oh, so good.
And ironically, we're going to come back to almost that exact match later on with one of my moments, DJ. I'm glad that you actually brought up WrestleMania 30 because that's going to be something we'll bring up back later. No, that right there will always be remembered because didn't he also meet Connor?
Yes.
Yes, he won it for
Mania.
Connor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that moment not only lives forever in professional wrestling history, but especially if you go over to the Mania Club Facebook, Connor's cure still goes on very strong because of that and because of what Danielson did after that moment. So I like that. I like that moment right there, DJ. What about you, Chris?
32 or 31? I think it might be 31. Heist of the Century?
31. I have that one. Yeah, I have that one.
You do?
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
I think that's the one I have as well. Go ahead.
We all have that. We all have
well. I guess it's such an iconic. We have to all agree on that. When Edge won it and he cashed in, first concept. When CM Punk won it twice, cashed in, both times crazy. But when Rollins cashed in on the main event of Mania from a loss to Randy Orton on the greatest RKO ever, I felt like that flipped the script so much for me. Like it was so weird to see that happen in the middle of a match, and it's forever going to be ingrained in that. And that's why I think Seth Rollins is probably like he's one of he benefited so much off of that in the long term of it. And so I am so ready to see another one. I think it's time for another one of those, but I don't think I like the person holding the briefcase right now. So
Yeah. Man, it's I had that Mania down twice before I erased it. For the RKO, because that is got to be the best RKO ever. And then for that cash in was just, I was losing my mind. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? All right, they can't have this go through. And sure enough, they did. And yeah, glorious.
And even the moment where, like, I think they had caught it on tape where you can hear Rollins muffled, of course, saying thank you so much to Roman at the end of it. Because at the end of the day, no one liked Roman.
Yeah.
That's hard to say now. Like, I mean, kind of hard, but not really. Like, it was more with gusto back then that we hated
nobody
Roman.
Cared about the big dog Roman.
Yeah. And then just seeing that, how there was no way they were going to win this Mania. Roman was going to get booed because he beat Brock, or vice versa. It was an outcome that nobody wanted on either end, and they pulled that like just Uno reverse on us and brought us all back. It was damn near almost like the streak ending, essentially.
Yes.
It was damn near like, okay, there's a swerve here.
Can we talk about for an honorable mention, can we mention the fact that WrestleMania in itself, beautiful stage, great arena. The only problem was, in the New Day talk about it, is because they had a early match on the pre-show or on the main card that the black canvas wasn't the best idea in springtime, South California.
Oh, true.
Yeah, that wasn't the greatest thing to do, but we got Sting in that WrestleMania. We had Ronda Rousey's first appearance in that WrestleMania. We in a Super Saiyan shirt. We had The Rock in that WrestleMania. That was a good WrestleMania overall, 100%.
Absolutely.
We had Rusev with a tank.
Yes.
Rusev with
a tank.
We had Rusev with a tank. We had Cena on Custody of America on a pole match. I don't remember what the match was.
It was you say the Sting match. I have it on one of my lists, but yeah, it was DX and NWO like finally up against each other. I thought that was just a nice little personal moment because I just loved the NWO back when they were like in their hype, and like I own an Hollywood Hogan what's it called, Battle Buddy.
I swear I have mine. I don't know where mine is. We're just gonna leave TJ on the pod.
That's all right. I'll carry on. Yeah. It's all right. Oh yeah, there he goes.
See, like Hogan's my guy. Bill Goldberg was my guy. Bret Hart, Booker T, all those WCW guys. Kevin Nash, too sweet. I absolutely loved it. And hold them up. Now say Billionaire Ted. Put yours up. Do the promo he did on when he turned heel, and then I'll put mine up.
Stupid! I'm not doing that. Oh my god! So my next moment, which I have at number 9, is WrestleMania 35, first ever women's main event. So essentially, the platform that we got, Sasha and Bianca, not that far off, which featured probably personally one of my favorite WrestleManias just because the entire card, but also it featured Becky Lynch, who the man gimmick was created at that point during that storyline after getting the, her nose busted in by Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, and Ronda Rousey, which we never thought we would ever hear that. So that's one of mine. Finally, the women's revolution culminated at that point in Phoenix. Really good match. Botch ending, which they all can admit to, horribly botched ending, but we got Becky 2 belts out of it.
All right, so I'll scratch that one off my list because I had that one too. All right.
You had that one too.
All right. Oh man, so I could go a lot of different directions here. All right, let's see. All right, so this would be WrestleMania 2000. And this is the triple threat ladder match between the Hardys, the Dudley Boys, and Edge and Christian, where Edge spears Jeff off the ladder.
Iconic.
Well, I mean, Edge jumps off the ladder to spear Jeff as he's holding on to the belt above the ring. And it was just talk about your holy crap moment. Yeah, that was, I could not believe that. And so many spots in that though. It was unbelievable. So many tables were broken and ladders, and oh man, they really
wasn't Spike a part of their team?
What's that?
Wasn't Spike a part of their team? It was or was that the following?
I think that was the following one. This one was just
the 2-on-2.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because I was like, wasn't Rhino in that? Wasn't Spike in that? But I think that was later. No, iconic movie. Iconic. I say movie. It was a movie. Shit. Like it was a movie at that point. I still don't believe it was real. Like for it to solidify itself as the first couple video clips on the beginning of every WWE Ruthless Aggression era promo before they start the show, iconic forever.
Yeah.
Just imagine the how history would have changed if the botch had happened, and when Jeff's holding onto the belt, it unclips as Edge is spearing him. How history would have changed.
They'd probably have less bad backs, maybe, and worse ankles.
I don't think so. I don't think so. So what's your next one, Chris?
My next one, WrestleMania 21, first Money in the Bank, when Shelton Benjamin springboards off the ladder.
Oh, yes.
The most insane thing I've ever seen. And I want to give his flowers. Shelton Benjamin is one of the best professional wrestlers I have ever seen. Back then to this day in his work in Japan. I hope he does anything great in any company he goes or whatever route he does. That dude deserves a future Hall of Fame induction, damn near 5 years from now.
Whoever's going to WrestleCade, he officially has signed on. He will be there at this year's WrestleCade in November.
Shelton Benjamin. And when Brock Lesnar respects you, oh, dude,
but they have a different type of respect because they went to the same college, trained together, all that kind of stuff. Their respect is like brother bond at that point.
Yeah.
But no, I have to agree. Plus the entire match overall, everybody
who Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane. Who else was in there? It was Kane, it was Shelton Benjamin, it was Benoit, it was Jericho.
And
then we're missing two. Edge, and we're missing one. Was it London? I think it was Paul London. We're all looking. We're all like,
I know, right?
Who's in the first Money in the Bank? That's what's really important. But
Right.
I will go into my next one, and mine is a entrance, and it is the entrance at WrestleMania 30. Triple H with his Uncle Black. If you know who it is, can you please tell us?
Christian. It was
oh,
Christian.
It was Christian. WrestleMania 30, Triple H gold entrance, but it's not the entrance that I'm saying was iconic. It's now what we know after, and it is the fact that he was escorted by a Sasha Banks, an Alexa Bliss, and a Charlotte Flair, who later on would change the women's division. So I always think that's one of the coolest things in the world, especially because we know Gino, and we know what Gino's been through being, in the background. He was at the rap battle between the New Day and the Usos and all sorts of other stuff. So got to give them their props, especially people who work backstage or are just helping out. So that's one of my iconic moments, is that we got to learn that that's one of their WrestleMania debuts.
I liked that Triple H did the more over the top entrances. Like even prior, he's had Motorhead play to the ring, the motorcycle, the Terminator.
Yeah.
Like they're all iconic, so I totally agree on that.
All right, DJ.
Well, you said iconic, so I think I'm going to have to go with, and I'm older than you guys, so my iconic is probably a little different than yours, but it does contain Chris's favorite guy.
Oh, depends. Which one? Which one?
Way back to WrestleMania 3, where Hogan picks up Andre and slams him down. No one up to that point, I don't even think Big John Studd even got Andre up. But yeah, Hogan actually lifted, and if Andre didn't want you to pick him up,
he wouldn't let you. He wouldn't let you.
Yeah, you couldn't do it. And so, kudos to Andre. Andre was such a giving person and so fun to be around. And for him to give Hogan that moment, and Andre sold it so well. Oh, it was just absolutely amazing to see. And that put, I mean, Hogan was a star, but that shot him to the stratosphere.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yep.
Plus, whenever anybody brings up like a video of professional wrestling, that's always one of the main clips in it, is Hulk Hogan doing that to Andre. So yeah, I'll agree with that. That one's a pretty good one.
I'll stick with the Hogan theme. Hogan versus Rock.
All right, I got to scratch another one off.
I think I have. No, I don't have to.
Hogan versus Rock. The first icon, the icon, maybe second, with Hogan and Andre being the first. But it's just the match in itself. It didn't have to be razzle dazzle wrestling moves all over the place. It's just personalities to like two iconic, just charisma vacuums. Who was gonna? Oh, fair enough. But at the end of the day, like at the time, the turn from Hollywood Hogan to red and gold Hogan, just seeing him basically decimate the NWO, like, yeah, that didn't happen at all. And just that nostalgia factor. He was on his nostalgia kick again. But I absolutely thought that was like, if there's ever a that's the standard for marquee match. You want someone as big as Rock versus someone as big as or as Hogan Orton.
No,
Hogan.
you had it right. You had it right. You confused yourself. You had it right.
Yeah. So even now with Rock versus Roman, that's still going to be talked about. Still a match that's going to be wanted. Rock versus Austin didn't carry that same weight because they both came up in the same age, like of professional wrestling. So it's two different eras colliding, and that's what you saw with Cena versus Rock, and so on and so forth. You see, and I absolutely think that if they continue to put more marquee matches on like that, they're always going to prevail.
Yeah,
money talks. So
see, I had that one on my list as well, and I was debating which one do I want to go with. And if you didn't cover it, that was going to be next. There were so many. I mean, the audience shift throughout that match happened not once, I think twice, maybe 3 times, because they were all pro rock, and then you kind of got a halfway kind of thing, and then by the end of it, it was Hogan chants everywhere. In the match itself wasn't that great. It really wasn't. But just the way that the audience bought into it was incredible. Absolutely.
I can't help but that comment. I'm sorry. The
definitely
cookout
can't
comment.
go out to the cookout though. Oh, so for anybody who's watching, we can't see all the Facebook comments because StreamYard did say before we went live that they're having issues. So I'm seeing people pop in or like Morgan saying hi to people, and I'm like, I don't see their comment. So I'm just gonna say that now before.
I was wondering about that. All right.
Yeah, no, Unc, you cold
on the YouTube. Yeah, on the YouTube side, we getting a lot of activity.
On the YouTube side, Unc, you cold for that one.
Yeah. I just showed off my battle buddy. Like, man.
Oh, so mine is gonna go not very many people are actually going to care about this one, and I'm perfectly fine with that because I enjoyed it. WrestleMania, they aren't commenting. Oh, okay. WrestleMania 35, Iconics win tag team titles. They had Eddie Guerrero themed gear. They basically had revitalized women's tag team wrestling at that point. Everybody loved the Iconics. That's one of mine. That's one of my favorite ones. Like I said, not very many people are going to be like, oh, see, I'll collect it. Yes. I'll collect it. Okay. Okay, cool. There's always one.
There's always one. I barely noticed this. Your name's Rody Codes.
My name's Rody Codes.
I just barely noticed.
I'm sorry,
that.
Josh. I'm sorry, bud.
Half an hour in, man.
I know. I'm sorry. Oh man, Rody Codes, dude.
He probably didn't get. I'm typing it. It's in YouTube, and he's on Facebook. He probably didn't get to see it. All right. Hey, Josh.
Okay, so DJ, it's back to you.
Oh, back to me. All right. All right. Well, I'm going to have to go again to another old school one. And I think this is another favorite of Chris's, but this is more of a match. Well, I say that, but this is more of a prop. And we're going to go back to WrestleMania 10. Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon.
Ladder match.
First ever ladder match.
He literally picked my guy, Scott Hall, versus your guy, Chico.
I mean, who would have thought that a prop would come
Chain
out
wrestling
to be so important in a match? And you're like, oh, a ladder. What in the world can you do with a ladder? Well, they started to show you what you can do with a ladder. So many iconic spots in there that they did. But so it's hard to pick just one. But for the first ever ladder match, those two put on a show. It changed the game of wrestling. So I had to go that one. Amazing match. Two
I loved
wonderful performers.
one of the moments I can pick out, and Razor. I know Razor won, but I think Michaels just gets so much more because of the jump off, like the leap off from the ladder. Crazy, absolute crazy. But I'm good. Oh, go ahead. Donovan.
Oh no! Look what he put. I like that.
Yeah.
Only
Does
when
it
the
matter?
wrestlers
Yep,
make
it
it matter
does.
does it matter. I like that.
And I'm gonna stick with the theme of the Heartbreak Kid. And my next one is a match: Shawn versus Austin with Tyson as the enforcer.
Oh,
So let me precurse this. I recently found out that I tend to like finishers of wrestlers that are super snap quick. Okay.
Mhm.
That's why I like the super kick. That's why I like the stunner. That's why I like the RKO. That's why I like Aleister Black's Black Mass. That's why I like Johnny Gargano's slingshot DDT, you know. Anything with the snap that looks like, oh yeah, it puts you out. I just absolutely gravitate to.
Mhm.
And this match was the stem of that, because that reversal of the super kick into the stunner is on repeat constantly. And the way Shawn just sells it. Yes, he was a dickhead back then. He deserved it. But damn, did he sell that stunner great. And then afterwards, with Mike Tyson being involved and like the whole drama between Austin and Tyson, are we going to get that? You know? We never thought that until another boxer came in, which is also on my list, but I'll talk about that later. And seeing him get knocked out and seeing the rise of Austin 316 and the lowering of Shawn DX, you know, it's just that great transition between, okay, this is the next guy. He did the job. Had he not done the job, Undertaker would have had some great words with him.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's a great match, 100%. And especially when I was looking through too, because I try to use reference, joggle my memory a little bit about like iconic WrestleMania moments. Is that somebody had taken it, or there's the picture of Shawn laying down on the canvas, and then Tyson looking at Stone Cold, and I was like, oh yeah, no, that's definitely that's not one for my list, but it makes sense, Chris. That's your guy.
Yep.
So mine, we head back to New Orleans, WrestleMania 34. The Bar, crazy good tag team. Nobody can beat them. Come in, cocky, Cesaro, Sheamus. And then Braun Strowman comes out. And he's looking for a partner. And he goes into the crowd. And he picks up Nicholas. And him and Nicholas are tag team champions for 24 hours. Because the Raw, right after that, Nicholas had to give up his tag team titles so he could do his homework. That'll always be one of my favorite moments at a WrestleMania, is seeing Braun just looking around at the crowd too, and you have people who are genuinely like, I don't want to stand up, and he just goes and he picks up Nicholas. Love it so much.
Yeah.
I got no comment on that one. That's, some people feel one way about it, and I think I might be on the side of some people might feel another way about it. I thought it was pretty hilarious.
I loved it.
But it's
for
like,
a moment, it was cool. It was cool for a moment.
Yeah.
It would definitely
turned out to be
a match of the year, but you know, it was a cool moment that I didn't expect.
No comment. Exactly.
It's like that. It's like that little gimmick where it was like cool, and it's something I will remember because I'm like, okay, they definitely threw they threw us completely left field at that point, but it's never gonna be like, you think of professional wrestling, you think of Braun Strowman and Nicholas beating the Bar, but it's still a cute moment.
Yeah. All right, back to me, I guess, huh? Oh, all right. Let me look at my list here.
Yep, it was. That's all I got to say.
Damn, Unc. Damn.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely agree.
Again, some people feel one way about it. Some people feel the other way about it.
Yeah.
All right. This is WrestleMania 13. Stone Cold Steve
Yeah, I knew it.
Austin versus Bret Hart when
Yep.
Austin passes the F out.
Yep.
There was so much blood and sweat and just exertion in that entire match that, and then, I mean, it didn't end. He passed out. He didn't give up. He just passed out.
Yeah.
It was,
Yes.
but I mean, it iconic moment.
The double
Yeah.
turn, man.
Yes, Morgan. Yes, someone passed. Stone Cold passed out.
She
Yeah.
doesn't
he
know a
didn't want
lot
to
of.
tap.
Hey, what's up, bro?
She doesn't know a lot of older wrestling, so trying to fill her slowly through that. But yes,
need
that
to
is a
bring
match
back-
I'm gonna have to. I'm
You
gonna
need
have
to bring back Ring Busters.
I know. We don't. We're trying to find time. How long was he
You
out?
know how awesome it is to know someone who knows nothing about wrestling and you could just show them everything.
Oh yeah, no.
Like,
It is it is fun when me and her get to sit down and we're like, okay, and like little tangent before we go on to the next one. The reason Ringbusters was so fun for one episode was because she was on Facebook scrolling and she saw the the Raw before Money in the Bank when all of them were on the ladders. Dean Ambrose,
yep.
Alberto, and so she was like, "Why are they on ladders?" And I was like, "Oh, it's that was for Money in the Bank." And she goes, "Can I see the match?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's just as cartoony as all of them opening Raw on ladders and Dean Ambrose just breaking the fourth wall every 5 words and just saying, "Can we fight already?" Like that's the whole point of this."
Right. I guess I'm next.
Yeah.
I'll do an honorable mention and then I'll lead into mine really quickly. Honorable mention. The Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal from WrestleMania 25, where Santina Marella won it. You want corny? I'll give you corny. It was such a left fielder. And hey, I mean, it didn't hurt Santino. He probably enjoyed the hell out of it.
I know,
So-
but I'm just like
Santina Marella. So
Santina
essentially,
Marella.
the one and only Miss WrestleMania is now the current director of Authority in TNA. For Morgan wanting to know.
Yeah. So is that just your moment?
Oh, honorable mention. Yes. That, and then I'll lead into what was it? Snoop saving Mania from 39.
Because Shane,
Because Shane's quads were
like
yeah.
like his father's.
Yes.
Like father, like
Just the fact as a showman, he knew the assignment, and he just like, and everyone kind of just looked away. Everyone, it was a collective like, let's not think about this. I think this clearly wasn't supposed to happen. And Snoop saved it, and he got a win at Mania. So it's all good.
Mine is we're staying back at WrestleMania 34 after the Wrestle Kingdom style match that went on between Chris's guy, AJ Styles, and Shinsuke Nakamura. The match is over. Styles goes out for a handshake. Everything's cool. And Shinsuke Nakamura hits him with the low blow. Turning heel, getting fans happy, which then got overused at every pay-per-view after that for like 5 months. But at that moment, that was like that for me, that was awesome. I loved it. Every moment of it. I love the match. I love the mutual respect that we were supposed to have that didn't get to last very long. Great moment, in my opinion.
I liked it because it was a WWE-ified Wrestle Kingdom main event. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's nothing more, nothing less I can really expect from one of those. And yeah, you're right with the low blow and the constant and that's how he ended every match, wasn't it? Back
Yes.
then in like 2016. And he
Yes.
squandered. We wasted a Royal Rumble on this guy for that payoff. That sucks. And it was the first Royal Rumble that both Japanese stars won.
Correct. Yes.
Mhm.
So I was like, really? Really?
I think if they would have just left it at that at the first one, I think it would have been fine. But yeah, way overused.
AJ, just wear a cup at this point. AJ, just wear.
And this was after the fact that Samoa Joe kept going after his wife, which we saw conveniently during the home invasion.
Yes.
So clearly, AJ cannot involve his family at all with any of this.
No.
But somehow it happened.
All right. Is it back to me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I think I'm going to have to jump back to WrestleMania 30. I know this one has been brought up a lot. And I think Chris mentioned this, but I don't think it was his moment, which was the streak actually ending.
Yes, you did. He did mention that, but yeah, the iconic dude wide-eyed as nobody ever thought this was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at least, I don't know. I wasn't ready for it. I was hoping it was one of those things that would never end. But yeah, it was almost a dagger in my heart because Undertaker's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yes.
He lived and breathed kayfabe and his character. And yeah, that was for me. That wasn't the best moment, but it definitely was a memorable thing there. Yeah.
Well, definitely one of the ones that will forever have professional wrestling as a swerve, especially because, people would bet on WrestleMania. That was when betting on WrestleMania matches was starting to get more popular, not crazy, but it didn't have DraftKings or anything like that yet, but people would bet. And then ESPN putting out the reports that people are losing hundreds of thousands of dollars because everybody thought that Undertaker was going to win, as usual.
Rightfully so.
I know.
Rightfully so. Man, if you bet on Taker winning, I'm sorry. And it became a thing between me and Donovan here. We're just like, oh well, my guys didn't beat him.
Yeah.
Okay. What makes you think Lesnar's going to beat him?
And we're
if
like,
DX as a collective couldn't beat him in a Hell in a Cell that they never really properly used, what's Lesnar going to do? So
Lesnared it basically and got his way. Chris, it's your turn.
I'll go in entrance on this one. Cena's Mania entrance with the gang affiliates. No, not that one. It was the mobster one.
Oh, okay.
As far as grandiose entrances and stuff, it's not thing like Triple H, but it was still pretty nice. I wish they did more of those with like props involved and stuff like that. But with this, like you saw CM Punk prior to everything going down. There's just them writing down it. It's akin to Austin for me, riding down that ATV down the aisle and stuff, and all hell's breaking loose. But this one was hype at the prime of Cena's career too, where it was like prime. I hate Cena, but like it was kind of starting to get less and less, more like I hate Cena and I hate Cena,
Yeah.
So, but I absolutely enjoyed it with that one.
We're not gonna leave Cena either because I'm going into my next one, WrestleMania 20. Cena beating Big Show to win his first ever title and turn it into an iconic title, the United States Championship, we are going to give some more love to DJ's cousin. Since you say cousin John,
Well, he is.
I know. You. That was like one of our first conversations when I started working with you, like for you, and you knew I liked wrestling. That was one of our first conversations. But yes, that WrestleMania had a lot of emotion, and one of Chris's moments, one of my moments. I think we're gonna have a big whirlwind for WrestleMania 20 overall, but to see this man get his first title 20 years ago, and now everybody looks back and we look at the videos and we're like, holy hell, now his last match was against Solo Sikoa in Saudi Arabia, which is related to The Rock. Like, his journey is incredible. So that's one that I will gladly defend, that him getting his first title, the United States title. All right, DJ, your turn.
All right. How many more are we doing? I got a few more.
I have two more. What?
Okay.
Wait.
All right.
I have two more.
All right. WrestleMania 32. Shane McMahon jumping off Hell in a Cell on Dear Papa.
On Dear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great moment. Great moment.
Great moment.
Yeah. I mean, again, match itself is but I mean, iconic things. You haven't seen anyone go off the top except for one Mick Foley, and that wasn't a Mania. So for Shane to brave that, because I don't care what people say, that's a long ass distance to propel yourself off of and do crash land down. That takes some cojones. So definitely a big WrestleMania moment there, or spot necessarily, but yeah.
No, it's a moment because everybody was feeling it at that moment. Nobody thought it was going to happen, and it happened.
I thought they were all dead. I really did. I was like, oh my God.
Just seeing Taker going through another Hell in a Cell, I think it was like, what, after all that?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what's Shane going to do? I know he's going to jump off something. Oh.
When you give him the opportunity, he will take it. And that's the scary part.
Okay, so my turn. I got two left. Mayweather versus Big Show.
Oh.
I liked this match because it was the first time I saw Big Show return, I think. And it was like a lot of hype around him. And at the time, around 2007, and then Mayweather was kind of showing up here and there. And like, there's a lot of stuff where Mayweather at the time in boxing, he was kind of being accused of using knuckles or padding his fists and stuff at the time. So him with the actual knuckles and the like brass knuckles, and then breaking his Big Show's nose was such a like crazy moment. On top of the fact that like it was the Battle of the Billionaires too, wasn't it? Or was that the year after?
Battle of the
Billionaires was
23.
I'm gonna look this up, see real quick. It
was either before. I feel like I want to say it was before.
I think so.
23, WrestleMania 23, Battle of the Billionaires.
All right, I thought it was the one before it.
WrestleMania 23.
But yeah, no, I like that match because it's still integrated. WrestleMania is all about bringing the mainstream into the wrestling scene, you know. And
yes.
Who better than Mayweather? Who better than Mickey Rourke? Who better than Snooki?
A lot better than Snooki.
A lot better than Snooki. Johnny Knoxville. I'm surprised Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn wasn't on this. I figured you would have picked it. I probably would have picked it.
Yeah, you would have picked it more
I
than I
probably
would have
would've
picked it.
honestly if I thought of it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like it falls within that same minutia of like, oh shit, Mayweather just knocked the hell out of Big Show.
Shoot. Knock the hell
Shoot,
out of it.
shoot,
Shoot.
yeah.
Shoot.
And Big Show's such like back then he was such a prima donna
Yeah.
at the time, so I was like, yeah.
Mine, and we can kind of combine these ones, Chris. Mine is WrestleMania 20, Eddie Guerrero winning his title
Mm.
and embracing
Mine winning his world heavyweight title.
Yep.
Chris Benoit and them embracing in a hug at the end of WrestleMania with all the. It was such a feel good moment, regardless of what you think of Benoit as an individual outside of the ring. I'm only referring to him what he did in
the
ring and stuff like that between those ropes. He was just a great wrestler.
Yes.
Great aggressiveness. Like it. I feel like John Cena said ruthless aggression, but Chris Benoit was ruthless aggression. I firmly believe that, and I would put that in. He was a part of the SmackDown 6. No, what he wasn't, was he? It was Benoit and Angle, wasn't it?
Yes.
The SmackDown 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like it. I could even say the SmackDown 6 altogether was just so integral into that era of SmackDown and wrestling as a whole. And Benoit just deserved his flowers going over both Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and then Eddie going over Brock prior at No Way Out to again retaining.
Mm-hmm.
So
back onto the SmackDown 6, it was Eddie, Kurt, Edge, Chris, Ray, and Chavo that were the centerpieces of SmackDown at that time.
Mm-hmm. All headed by future inductee Paul Heyman.
Paulie Dangerously. Which is how we got the nickname for our wise man, DJ.
Yes. Yeah. Can't wait to see who's who's going to induct him, and then just to have him in that Hall of Fame. But you're talking about feel good moments, and I didn't have this on my list, so I'm going to add this one as a honorable mention. WrestleMania 7. Macho Man Randy Savage had gone through a year of just up and down matches, was put through the ringer, and his valet, Miss Elizabeth, was gone. And then they were reunited in WrestleMania 7. And just to see the joy that Randy had on his face as he hoisted her up on his shoulder. And if you guys don't know the story, go check it out. There's YouTube videos and whatnot. It's a really cool story, really cool moment. So that'll be a honorable mention for me. My last moment that I have is WrestleMania 33. And yes, I know this wasn't the last one, but after Roman Reigns and Undertaker go at it, Undertaker finally leaves his boots, his hat, and was it the cloak as well?
Yeah,
folded up in the center of the ring. And for me, I thought, all right, that's it. He's done. And what a career! Heart broke, but was finally, just to see that in the ring. So many emotions, and that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, because that was when he had lost 2 years in a row, correct?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. He lost 32. That's when the streak ended, and then 33 is he lost again to Reigns, and he thought that was it, and he fully expected it to be it. But
I remember what I said when I saw when Reigns beat Undertaker. He hit him with the super duper spear. That was the first time he hit him with the super duper spear.
And then he shows up on Raw and he's like, "This is my yard now," which would turn into the most
If it were to
phrase
really
we
end,
would
if it were to really end the streak, that I always say they missed their chance on Roman. If they were going to turn Roman heel, it should have been like you should have let Brock win and not Brock be Brock, and put over Reigns as that. But I mean, hindsight, it worked out. So
after like 4 or 5 bad WrestleMania main events, or not even main events at that point, because they were trying to just throw shit at the wall, but it still worked out in a way.
Yeah.
So, Chris, what's your last one?
My last one. I thought I said my last one.
Oh, yeah, did you already?
My last one. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, we put ours together.
Oh,
right?
we put ours together.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine is a truly feel good moment. They only had 3 months to book this. They had less than 3 months to book this, really. They had to get the crowd. The crowd was already behind the gentleman that won the match by mistake to lead up to WrestleMania 35 as Kofi Kingston holds the WWE Championship by defeating Daniel Bryan, which made him the first African American champion in WWE. That is my favorite moment. That is a moment I literally cried to. I love the buildup. I love the way that the New Day would talk about how they had to plan each week going into it, and how he who shall not be named played very well into the gimmick of, no, Kofi, you are not one of my guys. But what is the reason why you're not one of my guys? We'll never know. And I love it. I love everything behind this story, because it goes into and Woods alludes to it. Is it because we're skinny? Is it because we're nerds? Is it a different reason? What's the reason? Why can't Kofi be the guy? And I was like, you know what? That's cool. I love it. I love that moment. So from Eddie winning to Kofi winning to Cena winning, those are all my favorite moments.
So many moments. We just scratched the surface. We're at WrestleMania 40, and you could easily, there's so many moments in each WrestleMania, and you can't say, whose is, got a better moment. That's why, these types of lists are subjective. It's our point of views. This is what we think. We agree on a lot of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just so many. And here in 2 weeks, we get to make more.
Not even 2 weeks. We get next week.
Is it? Oh, it is. Yeah.
It is next week. You're coming on.
It was a month ago last week.
You're coming back next Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah. My days run together.
Yeah. Same here.
You're coming back next Thursday. We have a prediction show.
Yes. And I'm all for it. I still think we're going to get a couple more matches. But
I say at least 2 or 3. I say at least 2 or 3. Round it out. Make it even.
7 each night. We'll go from there.
All right, gentlemen. This is the end of the episode. Like I said, this is not the only time you will see our wise man on this show, because he will come back next week, as we will be joined with Unk, Bree, and Nikki to have our longest prediction show, our longest live stream this channel has had so far. We don't really have, oh, it's one of my cats. We really don't have a time limit because we're going to have 6 people. We have 14 matches. We have a lot of theories, and it's going to go all over the place. So I hope you guys stay with us. Get excited for next week.
The way he exited.
I know. He just looked
He's just
around.
like, I just need to go back here.
Oh, we will see you all next week. How do you want to close out your show, GJ?
I think you did wonderfully. Yeah, next week we'll be back at it, giving our predictions. Grab your beer, grab your popcorn. It's going to be a slobber knocker, as JR says.
I may pop a top off on the show because it is going to be a longer episode because we are going to have so many thoughts. Yes. Oh my God, that's OSU
beer, made from Iron Monk Brewery. It's 1890. Oh, so good.
What kind is it? What does it taste like?
Let's see if it. See if it
we'll
actually
go on a tangent here real quick before we
oh yeah, go for it.
I love gimmicky beer. I love gimmicky beer. That's something I'll admit.
Let me look it up and see what it says.
All right. Well, either way,
yeah,
you guys won't get the answer, but we will. We will see y'all in the next video this week. Oh, quick thing. This week, we will not have a guest on the podcast. It'll be a quick episode with me and Chris. We're just going to give up some life updates, talking about just some ideas, what we're excited for. That's it. Quick episode. Next week, we do not have an episode because it's WrestleMania week and everybody that we want is probably booked or heading to WrestleMania or have their own crazy podcast that they have to go on to because of WrestleMania week. The week after, though, we're back on schedule as normal. Don't have to worry about it. But we will see y'all in the next video.